I have made this video specifically is because right now it is February 2020 and we have got a lot of airborne respiratory things going on. There is a unusually high rate of fatalities with the influenza. So you have a large part of the population that is fighting against vaccines, and then you have some that are even getting the vaccines and they're still getting the flu this year. There is a lot of strep throat going around, and if you haven't heard, there is also a new novel virus called the coronavirus, and it is otherwise, I think they renamed it to like COVID-19. So here's the deal. Right now, China, who is in charge a lot of our manufacturing of pharmaceuticals, they are dealing with just a really horrible catastrophe with this new novel virus. I don't really know where this virus came from, and I'm not even sure that we're getting accurate facts out of China from their government on what is going on. We are getting a lot of videos coming through that are pretty scary, where they're building hospitals, there's people dropping dead on the streets, there's people being locked in their homes, there's shortages of masks, there's shortages of bleach and alcohol in those regions. And if that wasn't scary enough, and if our heart wasn't breaking enough for China, kind of us seeing from afar what's going on over there, but we also have it around the globe right now. So the truth is, and I would like to say that you will never need any of this information, but they've been telling us for a while that we could be expecting another influenza that was similar to the Spanish flu of the 1918s, which killed off like a third of the population. So with that being said, we're going to go over some things that you could load up on right now to just start doing. And if it happens that you don't have to worry about the coronavirus, you are probably still, if you're in the US, dealing with an area right now that is dealing with a lot of flu, strep, stomach bug. So let's talk about some things that you can go get at your local health store. You may even have some of this that are proven to really help. I'm not saying that these are going to take the place of you seeing your doctor. If you want to go see the doctor, if you feel like you're that sick, or if you're on some other medications, this video is just for information for those of you who are interested in alternative ways to help build your immune system and possibly keep from getting as sick as some are with some of these new diseases. So let's go ahead and start with one of the most obvious things that everybody needs to be doing right now, as we are in the middle of a serious flu season, if nothing else, and that is just vitamin C. So I like to say if you could just eat 3 oranges a day, that would be the equivalent of about 200 milligrams of vitamin C. Vitamin C is proven to really help with the lungs. It does a lot as far as helping you be able to take in oxygen. They use it in high doses through an IV sometimes for lung whiteout with pneumonia. So you should just go ahead and start building up your immune system as strong as you can get it in case you get hit with one of these nasty viruses. And vitamin C is just the go-to. As a matter of fact, every year at flu season, you should just start getting oranges and taking vitamin C, and don't let up. The other one that is a little less obvious though is magnesium. Magnesium is something you may already have in your cabinet. Magnesium has proven in a lot of studies for people that have asthma, like chronic asthma and bronchitis, that it helps to loosen the constricting bronchial tubes, and it is something that also helps your other nutrients absorb better. So I would go ahead and I would just start doing some vitamin C and some magnesium right off the bat. 400 milligrams of magnesium a day, at least 200, and if you get sick with the vitamin C, I would go to probably let's talk about things that are going to help reduce a fever. But let's do this in the right way, because whenever you get a fever, that is usually your body lifting up its immune system to try to fight off the virus. So I'm always a little torn about when are we supposed to let the fever ride out and when are we supposed to stop it. A good rule of thumb would be to just not let your fever get over like 102 or 103. And if you're just feeling super rough, you're going to want to bring that fever down, especially in young kids, because you don't want to see them have seizures or something. But chrysanthemum is something that you can get at like your Whole Foods or a natural food store or vitamin store. It is supposed to help naturally reduce fevers. I have not tried catnip, but there are a lot of herbalists that recommend catnip for a fever reducer. I would go ahead and I would double check that. If you've got a cat and you've got some catnip and you're in a bind, I guess you could, throw some on your dinner in your chicken noodle soup. But another thing that I always like is just peppermint oil. I use peppermint oil for a lot of things, especially in the winter, but with small children that have just a low-grade fever, even adults, you can take just a little bit of that peppermint oil, and I'm talking about the essential, just like the raw essential oil, and rub it on the palm of your hands and on the bottom of your feet. It's going to have a very cooling effect that may help to bring the temperature down without bringing it all the way down. So those are just some of the things for a fever. And we're really talking about, we use this at my house a lot. We use a lot of this normally for colds and such until it's just you can't anymore. But at this point, there's so many people with the flu that, if you go to the doctor and you don't have it and you just have like a cold, are you going to walk out with the flu? And then this new COVID-19, here in the States, they're not making a big deal about it. It seems to be just a problem that we're not worried about. But realistically, it is a pandemic. And if you look at the pathology of it, it could end up here. Even if it doesn't, if it keeps going at the rate that it's going in China, where we manufacture most of our antibiotics and a lot of our medicines, then people are going to have a really hard time having access to just the things like the cough syrup or maybe even Tylenol or aspirin. So just remember that, and if you want to prepare. If not, you may just not be somebody that feels the need to. But I think it's always best to be safe than sorry, especially whenever you have children. I feel like as a mom that I worry more because of, not just what would happen to me, but what would happen to the kids and what would happen to the kids if something happened to me. Okay, so let's talk about cough expectorants, okay? So a big one that's kind of trendy that you hear a lot about, of course, is elderberry. You can buy elderberry at your natural food stores. I've seen it at CVS. I personally went and bought a big bag of just dried, dehydrated elderberry seeds and made my own syrup and filled up mason jars. This is something that, if nothing else, it's going to help build up your immune system because it's got a really strong antioxidant property in it. But if you want to make your own, you can get a lot more out of it. Usually there is raw honey from your area within there, because honey, of course, is going to help with the coughing. So some of the other things we have talked about also help with coughing, but these are some things that we use all year long for it as well. So licorice. Licorice is disgusting, right? You hear licorice and you think, oh, yuck. But it actually is a well-known thing to help with a really bad cough, as is just straight pineapple juice from fresh pineapples. Now, I think that is something you could probably get, your child to take for sure. Pineapple juice, it's just going to pretty much taste like Kool-Aid. It's super sweet. Then there is black pepper, and so you can also, if you want to make your own elderberry syrup, go ahead and put some just black pepper in there. The black pepper helps to loosen up the mucus in the lungs and go ahead and clear it out. Any one of those is inexpensive, easy to find, also something that it wouldn't hurt to have on hand all the time, especially if you have things like asthma or bronchitis very often. Go ahead and get you some pineapple juice and some elderberry. And really though, if you get a bag of dehydrated elderberry seeds, and I may even make a video next on how to make your own syrup, because you can make quite a bit and you wouldn't have to take it just for when you were coughing. You could just be taking like a tablespoon a couple times a day just as an antioxidant. So multifunctional. This is probably one of the most important ones. These are the antivirals. So these are things that are going to really help attack a virus in your body, and it is probably not going to be anything compared to what some of the drugs that are fighting things like HIV are doing. But it's better than nothing in a bind, right? Because if we were to have a major outbreak of a virus like, the COVID-19, we do have antivirals that we use for HIV, and we do have Tamiflu. But if it were to happen all at once and we were to overcrowd the medical system, I don't know if there would be enough to go around. So it wouldn't hurt to have a few of these in your arsenal. One is obvious, and it's echinacea, of course. It's in a lot of your homeopathic wellness and immune boosters. Garlic. Now, do I personally believe that garlic is just going to cure you? No, but it has a lot of benefits that could definitely help reduce how sick you possibly got and maybe how fast you got better. And beta carotene, which you can get from carrots and pumpkins, foods, and vitamin A. So I recommend that you have these on hand because, in a real pandemic situation, even if it doesn't get that bad, the medicines that you're used to just going and picking up. For a natural antibiotic, a lot of these different ones that we've mentioned already would work, but I think that it is proven that colloidal silver used in just kind of short bursts, like you would use an antibiotic. It is a heavy metal, so I wouldn't just like use it all year long all the time. But if you did get sick, then I would want to have some colloidal silver on hand, or at least a supplement that contains small traces of it, because it is proven to do a lot for healing. There are a lot of people that say if you take too much of it, you'll turn blue. I cannot verify that because I have never taken a whole lot of it. I'm very nervous about the heavy metals in my bloodstream anyway, so that's just not something that I would even risk. But I think that colloidal silver should be something that you definitely keep on hand for times like this where people are just really getting very sick and that there's a possible pandemic. And then, of course, iodine. And some people are allergic to iodine. Some people may be allergic to colloidal silver. So you may want to find that kind of stuff out right now and figure out if you could even take those things. I personally don't have an allergy to iodine, but I know a lot of people do, and that's unfortunate because iodine is really a good, just kind of a cleaning out your system, helping to get rid of any virus, boosting your immunity. Everything that we have discussed, if you have these on hand, most of these are natural. You could pick foods that have them. You could go get the supplements and just go ahead and be taking them. Maybe start taking them every time flu season starts to appear. I just feel like a certain urgency because I can't get a straight story on what is going on with this new novel coronavirus. It is spreading incredibly fast. Mainstream media is telling us that it's not really anything to worry about, and then they're like, well, is it? We're seeing cruise ships doubling every day of people getting sick. So that is worrisome, and I am the kind of person that would always rather be prepared than, at the last minute not have what I needed. So I hope you found some value in these. I could probably go on, and I may make some more videos. I don't really know that you need me to break down each one. I'm sure if you have made it to this video that maybe you're already trying to prepare and do your homework and kind of figure out what you need. If you're not, then I would, because even if the coronavirus has a cure before it gets here, or Americans, we don't feel the wrath of what's going on in the rest of the world with it, they are thinking that the influenza itself is mutating rapidly, and they keep up with it. They check the animals all over the world. We kind of watch to see what's going on in Australia before it gets here, to see what strain we think is gonna hit us. So we have a pretty good idea sometimes. I may be just freaking out about this virus, but I really don't think it's something to play around with. I think that it would be better to just kind of have these things on hand. I know that 9 out of 10 people that I'm coming into contact with have either had the flu or have somebody at their house that has the flu. So the doctor's offices, no matter how much Lysol they spray, they are rampant with the flu and other colds and viruses that seem extremely bad. And this year, but also longer into the season, we kind of take for granted that we can just run to the doctor and get some Tamiflu and some, something for a cough or an antihistamine over at the pharmacy, and, bam, we're better. But a lot of people are dying. And that's just the reality of it. And it's not even all people that have compromised immune systems already. There are a lot of, young teenagers that would seemingly have these really great immune systems, and just even the flu is killing them. So that isn't a happy thought, and I don't like to think about that and put that out into the world, but it seems to be a real thing that is really happening, and I just don't want anyone to lose a loved one, or to even to have to go without any medicine at all if we get cut off from the China manufacturing for a little bit. So there you have it. I'm the holistic esthetician. I'm just trying to help. If you like this video, go ahead and smash the like button, subscribe. If you have anything that you would like to add to it, put it down below. I would love to hear as many alternative methods that we can have access to without having to go to the doctor to help heal from some of these really harsh viruses this year.